thinking back a few months now to the IEB conference where we all connected. How was the reception? That group's typically pretty open to innovating and doing things differently, which is cool. But how was it in your eyes?
They are, and they were fantastic, and we've really been excited about the reception. So many of the inspectors are really looking at this as a differentiator. We originally started with it as kind of an add-on, optional, but now we've just been talking to inspection groups about just included in every inspection as a real difference maker, and actually as a way to increase prices. Like, we
Yes.
did some analytics that was showing how, I mean, this is not a new topic. I know you've had other people say this, but the home inspection just does not cost enough relative to where home prices have gone, relative to what the broker is making off of the deal. And the inspection price has really just been so sticky low. And inflation's gone up 22% in the last 2 years, and inspection prices have not gone much higher. So this is a great way to start 2024 off and say, you know what, we're raising our prices by, $25, $50, whatever you're comfortable with. You should probably raise it by $200, but I know that's aggressive. But and include this energy report. Like, it's
Yes.
such a huge differentiator, and it allows them to just really be the expert in the home and offer something completely different. I guarantee it's going to be a game changer with the realtors. They're so used to looking at things the way they have always been. You guys were a game changer when you came on and really started allowing people to see what a different kind of an inspection report could look like. Let's make this a little bit more interactive. Let's make it a little bit less static and scary, and let's really kind of celebrate it. And I think this is exactly the same kind of thing, just one more level up. Super excited.
I'm going to spare our listeners my tangent on price because I completely agree. Like, it should be $1,000 at least base home inspection. I'm just going to say
agree.
it in terms of the
I
value
was
it
just
provides.
talking with the guy with Harmony at Greenworks last week, and that was her 100% message to all inspectors. She's like, I don't care what market you're in, it should be at least $1,000. And I mean, when you think about how the average home price is, I want to say it's around $400,000 right now across the U.S.
Right.
That means your broker's making $12,000 off of the deal. The buyer's agent, who did nothing. They didn't do the listings. They didn't take the photographs. They didn't stage the house. They didn't do the MLS. All they're doing is helping shepherd this person along the way. The inspector is so much more important. This is your biggest investment. Why are you trusting the broker's opinion? You have to be trusting your inspector. I actually think that's going to be the game changer in the next 5 years, especially with the NAR lawsuit and that industry. So I come from the prop tech industry. I've always been in real estate and related technologies, but everybody in the real estate industry is talking about how the role of the buyer's agent is going to go away. Probably not the listing agent. Really, they are doing quite a lot in terms of trying to get the word out, but most people are shopping digitally for their home. They're looking, so you don't need the buyer's agent as much, but you do want a trusted expert to help you make sure that you're not making a mistake.
Right.
Anyway, so I could go on and on and on about how important the inspector is in the process, and
let's
hope that continues to be.
Let's riff on the lawsuit for a minute, because we've only talked about it a little bit on the pod. I don't know if a lot of inspectors are aware. If you're not, basically there's been a class action suit that was settled that found brokerages guilty of conspiring to keep commissions artificially high, which may prompt some changes in how laws are made or created around buyer's agents and what they can charge. So that was what happened. Google it if you're not aware of it. But our industry could have its day in the sun even more. What do you think that opening could lead to in terms of the role of the inspector, where it's been, where it was kind of when you saw it for the first time, and what it could mean now? What do you think some potential ways this plays out are?
I mean, I think it would be really great to see the home inspection industry really come together. I mean, there's certainly a lot of non-competitive benefits of working as a group, right? And I was talking with you yesterday, like, think about the Got Milk ads and how that really helps the milk industry. And, Real Beef was a whole thing with the beef industry. Like, completely leveled up for them how the whole industry was perceived. And I think the same kind of thing could happen with the home inspection industry, really getting a buyer of a home, a potential buyer, anybody who's looking at the real estate market to say, who should I partner with? I should partner with somebody local who's an expert in my market, who can help me really look at what the house should be. Like, I'm pretty good at going through and looking for the schools district that I want, or the neighborhood that I want, or the style home that I want, but I don't really know anything about this house that has a basement, or that's 38 years old, or its systems, or anything like that. And that, I think, is really a message that could start to resonate, so that everybody in the home buying space could look at the inspector as the first person that you should be thinking about, not the realtor, the buyer's agent.
I love this train of thought, because back to price, if we want this industry to have upward pricing power, you have to probably add more value, right? Or we got to brute force
Right.
it with value and differentiation and knowledge of the local area, basically what the realtor knows. Because I can say this as a former realtor, everything we
Yeah.
learn, we just kind of get from the MLS or Zillow. There's no like specific
Secret
hardcore
sauce.
knowledge that we've honed over 10 years, as much as we want to tell clients that. No offense, agents, but like, it can be learned. And I think inspectors ramping up their knowledge of that can become more holistic in what they provide to the home buyer.
Right.
And so,
And homes have become more complex over the years,
sure,
right? The system, like, you know, home inspection industry as an industry is only probably 35, 40 years old. I mean, it used
right,
to be, if you, in the 50s, you buy a house, it's on you to know something about the electrical, to know something about the plumbing, to know something about the roof and the structure. And people kind of did. Maybe you inherited it from your grandfather or your father, and you're handy, you can fix things. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody knows anything about their electrical panel. They hardly even know where it is. There's just so many things that people need more help with. It plays into ancillary services as well, and whether or not people have like sister companies of, handyman services, HVAC services, all of that kind of stuff. That's a whole other tangent. But, it's really this home expert. How do we level this person up in the eyes of the homeowner? I heard from an inspector a couple weeks ago that, a lot of their inspection reports don't even get seen by the home buyer. It's the agent is literally controlling that whole thing. And you think, how did we get here? How did people start thinking this was optional? No, it's not. You need somebody to tell you whether or not, even if you're not making a contingency of the sale, because, I mean, let's be real, there's still a lot of markets where it is a seller's market. So you're not going to be able to have the negotiating power that sometimes a home inspection information can give you, but you still want to know it. You should still have this inspection. I don't care whether it's a contingency, do it. Make sure you know what's going on with this house as a foundation. And then, personally, I would keep having the inspector come back every year and tell me, did that crack in the foundation get worse? Or yeah, after that big storm, now all those loose tiles that you told me about on the roof are a really big problem. And anyway, I think the whole industry could really get leveled up. And it's part of the reason that I really wanted to distribute this energy information through inspectors. They are absolutely the right people to give this kind of content to, because they should embrace the whole house. And like I said, it's not just the structure, it really is how the house performs. And it's anyway, I don't want to go too deep off the deep end, but I really think that the inspectors are poised for a lot of increased role in this whole market.
Yeah. And it's going to take, I think, a collective mentality shift of the industry in terms of being open to adding more value, doing things differently. Because I can say this, I've been here long enough. Inspectors aren't always the most open to change. I'll just put it that way.
Yes.
But in order to actually make any effective change and move pricing up and change the role, change the perception, you have to try new things and you have to be open to adding more value. And that's what's so intriguing about the energy efficiency stuff, is that one, it applies to everybody, like you said. Two, it's kind of a newer type of package and service and thing they can offer. And three, it creates upward pricing pressure, which we all want. Pressure is the wrong word. Upward pricing mobility, to say, hey, we're worth a lot more. Let's start charging it.